I feel like it happens all the time in apologetics. I've been banging on apologetics a good bit here lately, but it's like some of the stuff about God being a necessary being. And to be fair to Anselm, like Anselm's argument, like the ontological argument, I don't think that he wasn't using it like an apologetic context, but it does get used there sometimes now. And this idea of like,
Yeah, there's like the
it
modal ontological argument, which was
yeah, it's like,
Kinga's
well, imagine the greatest,
formalization.
yeah, imagine the greatest being possibly imaginable. Okay, you got that in your mind. Well, the only thing that could make that more great would be if it existed. And I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
okay. But then they make that jump to then being like,
there
well, then
there is
therefore that
like
means
a
God
sense,
exists. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, like
there
that doesn't
is a
follow from that. What
sense
are you talking about?
where there's a sense in which I'm sympathetic to his intuitions, but I don't think even Anselm's argument is like, I think it has flaws to it. Like, even though I'm sympathetic to the intuition he has in some sense,
I,
even maybe like Stravik would say, well, I shouldn't be because it's like it imports all these different notions, but I do
I
have
think
this
it's the
sort of like,
utility of it. That's the problem
yeah,
with that one is like if you look at the actual context for the thing, you'd have to reference one of the more theistic people in like our extended whatever, Matt Whiteley or Ben Curtis or somebody. But
mhm,
Anselm's argument first showed up in essentially what was like a devotional text that was
right.
like something that was like an internal exercise almost like for like at the time, like Christians or believers to maybe sort of like bolster their faith or something along those lines. And I think that that's totally fine. So I don't even think that the problem is Anselm's argument. The problem is that this modern, what I consider to be almost like a plague of apologetics, where um, I think it was Rhett McLaughlin recently in his interview with Alex O'Connor. He brought up a point that I pretty much struck the same point in my piece, the problem with apologetics, but he said it in a much more succinct and much better way than I did, where he was essentially calling out saying that like we're talking about matters of faith here. And so even from because I used to be a staunch Christian, like even and that was where my criticism of it actually came from was like